Have you ever wondered about the peculiarities that made Alexander the Great, well, great? Buckle up, history buffs, as we delve into the weirdest moments of his life. It all began with an obsession, not with power or conquest, but with a book, the Iliad. This ancient Greek epic was Alexander's bedtime story, his guidebook, his obsession. Now add to this peculiar mix a mother, Olympias, who convinced her son he was nothing less than a son of Zeus. Yes, you heard it right, the god of the sky and thunder himself, but it doesn't end there. Picture a young Alexander, just a lad really, taming a wild horse named Bucephalus, a beast that men twice his age feared. This unlikely beginning set the stage for a life that was anything but ordinary. And that, dear viewers, was just the tip of the iceberg. Hold on to your seats because it only gets weirder from here. Alexander's teenage years were as tempestuous as any, with a propensity for drama that would put modern reality TV stars to shame. Now let's dive into a specific incident that showcases this perfectly: the infamous wine jug incident. As the story goes, during a heated argument, young Alexander, fueled by his fiery temper, picked up a wine jug and hurled it at one of his generals, Clytus. Now, this wasn't just a bit of juvenile mischief. The jug struck Clytus with such force that it ended his life. This incident wasn't just a shocking display of Alexander's impulsive rage, but it also had profound implications for his rule. The death of Clytus, a respected and experienced general, caused a ripple of discontent among Alexander's ranks. It was a stark reminder of the volatile nature of their young leader, making many question his ability to rule. So, the next time you're angry, remember to put down the wine jug. It's a lesson Alexander learned the hard way. Alexander's eccentricities were not limited to his human relationships. His love for animals knew no bounds. Now, Alexander the Great, known for his military acumen and vast empire, was also quite the animal lover. And when we say animal lover, we're not talking about a few friendly pats on the head of a stray dog. No, this was Alexander the Great. His relationship with animals was as grand and dramatic as his conquests. Take his horse, Bucephalus, for instance. This was no ordinary horse. This was Alexander's companion, his confidant on the battlefield. Legend has it that Bucephalus was a fierce creature, untamed and wild. But young Alexander, with his bold spirit, managed to tame the beast, earning himself a loyal companion for his adventures. Bucephalus was more than a horse to Alexander. He was a friend, a partner in crime, if you will. When Bucephalus died, Alexander was grief-stricken, so much so that he held a grand funeral for his fallen comrade. Can you imagine? A military general, a king, mourning a horse with such intensity. It's like something out of a Hollywood movie, isn't it? But his love for animals didn't stop there. Alexander had a fascination with exotic creatures, the likes of which most of us only see in zoos or nature documentaries. He was not one to shy away from the wild and the unknown. And then there was Peritas, Alexander's faithful dog. Now, we've all heard of people naming their pets after celebrities or famous locations, but Alexander took it to a whole new level. He named an entire city after his beloved dog. That's right, the city of Peritas was named in honor of his four-legged friend. So, whether it was a city for his dog or a funeral for his horse, Alexander's love for animals was indeed bizarre. But then again, wasn't everything about Alexander the Great a bit out of the ordinary? Alexander's death is shrouded in as much mystery and intrigue as his life. Picture this: the year is 323 BCE, and the world's most powerful conqueror, the man who built an empire stretching from Greece to Egypt and all the way to India, suddenly falls ill and dies. But wait, it's not that simple. With Alexander, it never is. The most widely accepted theory is that Alexander succumbed to a fever. Some say it was malaria, others typhoid. But then there are whispers of poison, a plot by his own generals perhaps, or a political rival. There's even a tale of a poisoned chalice of wine served at a banquet in his honor. It's all very Shakespearean, isn't it? But here's where things get really weird. Alexander's body, they say, didn't start decomposing for a good 6 days after his death. Now, that's not normal. Even for a man who tamed a wild horse at the age of 12 and named a city after his horse, that's stretching it a bit. This led some to believe that Alexander was not dead, but in a deep coma. Others suggested a divine intervention, arguing that Alexander was, after all, a demigod. Then there's the theory that Alexander, ever the drama queen, faked his own death to escape the pressures of running an empire. It's a long shot, but with Alexander, you never know. So what's the truth? Well, we may never know. The accounts of his death are as varied and colorful as the tales of his life, and that's the beauty of history, isn't it? The line between fact and fiction often gets blurred, leaving us with stories that are equal parts fascinating and baffling. And thus, Alexander's life, filled with the bizarre and the WTF, came to an equally peculiar end. Whether he died of a fever, was poisoned, or simply decided to take an extended vacation from ruling the world, one thing's for sure: Alexander the Great sure knew how to keep things interesting, even in death. So, there you have it. The weird, the absurd, and the downright WTF moments from the life of Alexander the Great. We've journeyed from his unlikely beginnings, where he tamed a wild horse at the tender age of 12, all the way to his sudden and mysterious death, the cause of which remains a puzzle to this day. We've seen him chuck a wine jug at a friend's head in a drunken rage, and we've also seen his softer side, as he mourned the death of his beloved animals. It's been a roller coaster ride, revealing the many shades of this great but deeply flawed leader. But remember, folks, history is never just black and white. It's a kaleidoscope, full of unexpected twists and turns. And Alexander's life, as we've seen, is no exception. If you enjoyed this wild ride through history and want more, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Until next time, keep exploring the strange and the unexplained. Who knows what history has tucked away in its corners?